Governor-elect Kevin Stitt is going to have some major financial decisions coming up soon. Joining us to discuss the divestiture choices ahead for Governor-elect Stitt is Paul Monies with Oklahoma Watch. Paul, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Now, Paul, you examined the issues here. Is separating himself from his business something that the governor-elect is required to do?
It's not really required, but generally the Ethics Commission kind of likes to avoid the appearance of conflict of interest as well, not just natural conflict. So it's something that he's probably going to have to look at a little bit. There's no strict rules at this point in terms of what he has to do essentially under the law.
Are there any financial records that the governor has to disclose?
He does, yes. Within 30 days of taking office on January 14th, he'll have to file the state's personal financial disclosure document, which kind of lists ownership interests in companies and partnerships, as well as a certain income level from any kind of business that he has. So he'll have to file that for the first time as an office holder, like most other elected office holders in the state.
Now, in the election, Governor-elect Stitt made transparency a big part of his campaign. On the personal level, has he been transparent with his financial information?
Well, you could argue not really. We did, as Oklahoma Watch, have a project in the summer asking all of the statewide candidates to basically disclose some of their financial dealings. Some of them did. In fact, in the gubernatorial race, both his opponents in the gubernatorial race, Drew Evanson, the Democrat, and Chris Powell, the Libertarian, both released limited tax returns. In Drew Evanson's case, it was full 2 years of tax returns. But the Stitt campaign declined to do that at that time.
Now, there's another new business that a trust Mr. Stitt has created. He's getting into. Explain that for us.
That's right. Well, he has organized his Gateway and Mortgage Group around a trust that's owned by his family. It's a Stitt Family Trusts. And then before the runoff election in August, his company announced that it was going to be buying a bank in Cherokee, Oklahoma called Farmers Exchange Bank, and basically fold Gateway into that bank structure and call the new entity the Gateway First Bank. And so that transaction is pending right now with both state and federal kind of regulators, but that's kind of what he's planning on doing. It's supposed to close in the first quarter of 2019.
How much of this ethical issue could actually end up causing conflicts that the governor-elect would face?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hypothetical at this point right now. We don't know exactly what his whole assets and background is financially, but generally if it's a bank, I'm sure they'd be looking at how that bank does business, maybe with state entities that might get funding or other stuff like that. So there's simple stuff like that, but then at this point it's still a little bit too early to say exactly what the conflicts could be or even the appearance of conflict.
Now, quickly, has the governor-elect given any indication how he's going to deal with this?
Well, we've asked his campaign that, and basically he said he's going to ask the Attorney General for advice on this issue. And then from the company side, his CEO at the company, a new CEO, has told us that basically if there's any appearance of conflict, then they're going to basically ask to be regulated by the feds exclusively rather than the states as a state banking department.
Paul Monies with the Oklahoma Watch, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.